If all living beings disappeared, would the universe still truly exist? Humanity has long stood before profound metaphysical questions: who am I? Why is there something rather than nothing? And one of the most thought-provoking is, if all living beings, that is, all consciousness, disappeared, would the universe still truly exist? Glance, the answer may seem simple: of course it would. Planets would still orbit, stars would still burn, and matter would still exist. But if there were no being left to perceive, observe, or experience that universe, then does that existence have any real meaning?
Does it exist outside of consciousness? From a materialist perspective, the universe is an objective reality that exists independently of consciousness. Even if no one looks at the stars, they still shine. Even if no one senses time, the laws of physics still operate. This is the foundation of modern science. The universe exists and functions regardless of observation. However, philosophers from antiquity to modern times have repeatedly asked, can something truly be said to exist if no one, nothing, is there to know of it? If no consciousness remains, then the phrase "the universe exists" may become little more than an empty abstraction.
Idealism and the role of the observer. According to idealism, especially in the philosophy of George Berkeley, to be is to be perceived, esse est percipi. Without an observer, an object cannot be said to exist, for its very being is tied to perception. Similarly, in quantum physics, observation seems to influence the behavior of particles, suggesting that consciousness plays a role in defining reality. If all life ceased to exist, there would be no one to see the light, hear the sound, or think about time. What, then, becomes of the universe? Perhaps it doesn't cease to be, but instead becomes a silent, unknown existence, unnamed and unrecognized, and in that sense, ceases to be anything at all. Does the universe need us? We might compare a universe without living beings to a book without a reader, or music never heard. It still exists, but it holds no meaning, no context, no awareness, because light is only light when there is something to perceive it. The universe may not need us to operate, but perhaps it only becomes known, experienced, or realized through conscious beings. The question, would the universe still exist if no living being remained, is not just a physical question, but a philosophical one. It exposes the tension between objective reality, which is assumed to exist independently, and subjective reality, which gains meaning through experience. Perhaps it is precisely through the presence of conscious beings, capable of awareness, reflection, and wonder, that the universe gains depth, meaning, and self-recognition. So, when we ask whether the universe would exist without life, we're not just asking about space and time. We are asking, what does existence mean if there's no one to know it exists?